Hey, how's everyone doing? This is Oz with Oz Mechanics, and on today's video, we have this 2000 Ford F-150 right behind me. So the issue with this Ford F-150, customer was complaining whenever they try to put the turn signals, they don't turn on. So every single time he puts it on, it just doesn't engage. So he did tell me he did some little maneuver to get it going. So how about in today's video, we try to figure out this issue and give the vehicle back to the customer. All right. All right, so let me show you exactly what this customer complaint is. So if we get this key right here, we're gonna go ahead, put it on. And let me just show you right here. So we have the turn signal right here. And as you can see, there's no turn signal light, but this is where it gets interesting. Whenever you tilt the actual steering wheel up, check this out. The turn signal actually turns on right here. If we put it back down, turns off. On, off, on, off. And this works with both sides, on, off. But one thing I did notice right here in the instrument cluster, there's a bunch of lights that are on. We have this oil light right here. We have this battery light that's over here on the side. We have the theft light that's on. All this stuff is on. And then while doing this test, I was doing an observation. I found something really crazy. Check out this button right here. And when I went ahead to try to see what this button does, hopefully we're in park. Let's check this out. It's like a starter switch. So even with the key off, I can press this and it's gonna try to turn on. Well, it's not gonna turn on because the key's not on, but I'm kind of curious. Let's just put the key here. Yeah, it won't turn on, but we do have it on position. It's crazy. All right. But like I said, the main concern that the customer has, it's basically trying to figure out this problem, like I said. So we're going to recreate it one more time. Turn signal on. You can see it is not on until you move it. All right, it's just by moving it. So what we're going to do, we're going to go in here and check it out, see what we find. But I'm kind of curious. I'm going to hook up my top down and I'm going to see if there's any codes, because remember, we have all these lights everywhere. Is this something with the cluster or is this something with a module? So first and foremost, I want to hook up my top down, see what we find out. Let's get to it. All right, I saw something interesting. I have the car running right now. As if we can look at the cluster, the lights went off. The only one is the door ajar and the theft light. So right now I'm just going to do key on, engine off. And one thing is, when you have key on, engine off, that's when you notice those lights that were on. It was battery light and the oil light. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and see what codes we have with our Phoenix Max. We're going to do a smart scan. I'm just kind of curious what we're going to see right here. All right, so we have 5, 10 codes. Let's go to report. All right, now we're looking at these codes. We have the GEM module has a safety belt lamp, accessory delay relay, battery saver relay control, ignition key and circuit error code. And then instrument cluster, we have the oil pressure switch error note, fuel cylinder unit open, engine prohibited by PAT system. So that theft right there too, it's an issue, but the vehicle's starting. But like I said, the main thing that the customer, and then we have an airbag lamp indicator. So yeah, everything that shows on here, it's all, and they're all continuous memory DTCs right here. It's not history or nothing like that. But like I said, my main focus right now is gonna be on this turn signal. Now my question is, if we go here, I want to see where the turn signal's at. All right, see if we got turn signal switch. I'm telling you, man, here in Houston, even when what are we right now? We're in August or September. We're in September, right? And it's still freaking hot, man. It's like 100 degrees here in the shop. It's not fun. All right, now let's go to this right here. Turn signal switch. Still not there, man. I just wanted to see if it saw it. Just trying to see something that's on here that we might be able to see. Well, you know what? Because this is part of... No, that wouldn't work. Man, I was trying to find something here that would be a part of it, because it's just... Okay, let me see. Hold up. Let's bring it down a little bit. You see, I'm turning this and that's working, the wipers. But if I still do this, the turn signal's not working. I was trying to correlate something because this is all in the same unit. I think the turn signal is going to be in some other system. All right. Now what I want to do is I'm going to go to Mitchell and we're going to check out a wiring diagram right here. I'd rather just see this because what we're going to do, we have to open that up, but I want to see what's going on whenever we do make the movement. All right. So this is a 2000 Ford pickup. I think it is a 4.6. Awesome. Now we're going to a wiring diagram and we're going to go to exterior lights. And when we go to exterior lights, we should see the turn signal. What the? Man, I put interior lights, exterior lights. I'm so sorry. I was like, man, that's my bad. I'm sorry about that. All right, there you go. So we can see right here the multi-functioning switch. We have a left and a right. That's when you turn it to each side. And then from there, as you can see, it goes to the left front park light and the rear exterior lights. My main thing is what is going on right here? What's causing it not to actually work? So we can see we have a flasher right here. So we have a flasher relay. The power outputs to the actual lighting is going to be a light green and white, and I think our powers to this are both going to be in the blower motor flasher relay. There's two powers. What's over here? This is what I want to know. From two, yeah, right rear tail lamps. Okay, cool. So now the question is, going into this multifunction switch, is it going to be our inputs or our outputs that are going bad? Most likely what I probably think is probably going to be somewhere up here where maybe our light blue, white and red, or something like that. And then once we get up here, remember, we still have this thing that we have to deal with. So I'm going to go ahead and try to move that around and make sure that we don't cause any problems. The main thing right now that we want to do is get right here, get something to check out our voltage and move it around and see what's going on. Most likely there's probably a chance that there's just a connector that's just loose. So every time we pull, it goes out. But we're not going to be making assumptions or guesses. We're going to go straight in there and see what we find out. So let's check this out. All right, voila. Check out this, what we have right here. Hey, I don't want to move too much, but yeah, this is probably something from the starter. Probably have like an alarm system or something like that. But like I said, my main focus is on the turn signal. All right, let's put this back in place so we can move this up and down. All right, still not picking up. I need to move this out of place right here. And to do that, I gotta put this in drive, move this out the way. Perfect. So the question is, what's going on over here? So to move this out the way, we have to actually move or take off this key, because if we come on this side, this is actually holding this in place right here. So we can't move this out because, as you can see, this has a little cover. So the thing that we can do right here, I'm just gonna get something sharp and we're gonna go ahead and take off this lock cylinder. We have a little tab right here, or a little hole right here, that we can press in and this should let this out. So let me try this out first. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, forgot about this, I think there's a little hole right here to do it beforehand. I was a little bit too excited, I'm not gonna lie, that's why I kind of missed that. But let's get a little screwdriver, let's go ahead and push that in so we can pull that out. Like I said, we can go ahead and use anything. I'm just gonna use this 90. So we just push that in. Okay, that wasn't supposed to... This sucker just came off. I think, as you can see, that this has been, it's seen better days. All right. Right now, I'm just trying to go ahead and get this done. So we're just going to put this aside. This just popped off. Yeah. This normally should all come out together, but hey, a win's a win if we avoid some of this stuff. All right, so now what we have to do is figure out what's going on here. All right, check out this connector over here. I don't know if you can see it, and I did say that connector. Check out this connector right here. You see, look at that connector. I'm gonna go ahead and move the steering wheel. You see it move? Because look, I'm about to turn this on. Now it is working, but it's because of this that's broken. So let me just pull this right out. Man, kind of had a feeling it was gonna be. And look, one of these was just not on there. All right, my next thing is I'm gonna try to see if they actually sell this connector, because I don't want to leave it like this, which it actually connects in place. So let me go check out the auto parts store, and this is actually gonna be kind of cool because I'm gonna show you how to depin stuff and pull this out, and then after this, the customer is not gonna have this issue ever again. All right, let's get this going. All right, so yeah, now we have the right one right here. As you can see, now we can line these two up, and yeah, these are identical. Well, it's slightly off, I'm not gonna lie. There's one extra one right here, but I don't think that should matter. Everything else pretty much lines up, as you can see. So this just might be an extra one. Remember, these can be for different applications. So what we're gonna do first, I don't like to put butt connectors on here, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove these. And luckily inside right here, we're gonna push that tab up. All right, there you go. So we're gonna do one at a time, and we're just gonna keep on taking these out. And once I take all these out, we're gonna move our direction over here. Let's get all these off right here, and once we get to that, we're gonna do one at a time and then put them right in so we don't get these mixed up, okay? All right, awesome. Now that we have these off, as you can see, we have all the connectors off. And people are gonna ask, why don't you just use the new ones? You know, to be quite honest, like I said, I just hate doing butt connectors, especially in this small area right here. You can solder it too, but I'd rather keep it as original as possible. And we're just gonna get that going. We're just gonna go one at a time, and then we're gonna check pin fitment as well. Just make sure everything's okay. So I'm gonna get a part right here so we can see how the pin fitment is on each one before we put it in. So let me get my headlight, and let me get something right here so we can see which connector is going to be, so we can check all pin fitment. So once this is all done, we're not going to have any problems in the future. All right, so we're going to start off with the one that was loose right here because the tab was broken. So what we're going to do is pull this out. Remember, this is on the upper corner, so it's going to be this one. We're not going to try to move this. And then we're going to use our little tool from AES Wave, and this has good pin fitment. So after that, we're going to go ahead, go right here, find the right side, and then we're going to go ahead and push this in and just make sure it has good connectivity. As you can see, it does not budge anymore. It's nice and in there. All right, so we're going to go to the next one. Pull that sucker out. Make sure that we have good connectivity. Awesome. And this one right here is on the lower left hand corner. We're going to make sure when we put this in, make sure it goes in there nice and good. Make sure it's nice and in there. And then we're going to tug, make sure that does not come out. And we're just going to keep on going through all of them. And as you can see, these are starting to break off. Oh God. So I want to ask my subscribers out there, or even just people just, you know, cruising through and checking out my channel, what do you prefer most? Do you prefer the method I'm doing, or do you prefer just cutting the wires and doing it the other way? I want you to comment down below and let me know what you think. And we are our last one. Awesome. All right, everything clicked in there nice and good. I did forget to check the last one, so I'm just going to go right here with our tool. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And all these look perfect right here. All right, awesome. Like I said, I'm just going to do one last little tug. Make sure that all these are good before we put these suckers in. All right, now this is going to be the moment that we've been waiting for. We're going to try to finagle this in there. All right, so I had a little bit hard time putting the sucker in. I don't want to damage anything, so we're going to go ahead and remove this. I'm using a size 20 to remove this, and we have some torque screws. All right, so this is not going to be too bad at all. You see? Easy peasy. And then after that, we can go ahead and clip this in nice and good. And there you go. So now after that, we're going to go ahead and tighten this right here. And then after that, we're going to use our tool. And come on, all mechanics have to ugga-dugga this. And do the top one right here. Awesome. Now, moment of truth. Let's turn the key to the on position. Now we're going to see right here, if we get turn signals, bam, bam. And we're going to move our steering wheel up and down. As you can see, now that we move it, it's not moving anymore. Check out the top right here. Now she's nice and good in there, and we're not having any problems. Sweet cakes. So now the next question that we have right here, let me turn this off. Now the next question that we have right here is, remember, we have this box right here. This is a Crime Stopper. Basically, it just doesn't start the vehicle. And to be quite honest, I'm pretty sure this is the reason that they added this little button right here. Probably the relay wasn't working and they're having some issues. I'm going to talk to the customer before I go any further. I just want to make sure if he wants this off. Honest to God, I'm not a big fan of these. Anytime I see this, I'll take it off. But it's going to be his call. So there you go. How'd you like this video? I know this wasn't our original or normal kind of diagnosing where we do a lot of crazy stuff. This was just kind of a old school kind of way. We just went in there, saw the broken connector. I kind of already had a feeling that was going to be it. I even said that. It just felt kind of off when you moved it from up and down, and then we had connectivity, no connectivity. But it was kind of cool. We got to show you our process on how to diagnose this, and as well, I showed you how to depin some connectors. So if you do like this video, please put a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that little notification bell to get our brand new videos coming out from Oz Mechanics. Man, I lost my voice right there. I'm already ready to go home. But comment down below. Let me know what you think. Y'all have a nice day. Goodbye.